Good afternoon and welcome to the South East Regional Improvement Collaborative event from Young Enterprise Scotland. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Geoff Leask. I'm the Chief Executive at Young Enterprise Scotland. And to my left or to my right, I'm not sure which way you're looking at the screen, is Fraser Morrison, the Company Programme and Digital Delivery Manager at Young Enterprise Scotland. And this is the fourth in a series of 6 events over the month of May. And as all of you in the south east of Scotland know, we always save the best for number 4 in a series of 6. As usual, we are very much open to questions. And there's an opportunity to pose questions in the chat bar at the side of the screen. So feel free to pose a question there. And what we'll do is those questions will be flashed across for all to see. And Fraser and I will do our best to accommodate and answer them over the course of this evening's presentation. So here we are. It's the 12th of May, I think, in 2022. Let me take you back 30 years in time. For some of us, it will seem like a short hop, step and a jump to 1992. For others on the call, you might not even have been considered being on the planet at that time in 1992. But what was going down in 1992 was quite a lot was happening in 1992. John Major was elected as our UK Prime Minister. It was the year of Black Wednesday, and with the current economic crisis here in the UK, has many things changed? I don't know. It was a time when you would take a trip down to the Blockbuster video rental shop on a Friday night to rent your favourite movie. The big box office hit at that time was Basic Instinct. There we go. And if you had to pop into your Ford Fiesta to go down to the Blockbuster video shop and put some petrol in, you would have got the choice of 2-star or 4-star, and 2-star would have cost you 46 pence a litre, £1.69.9, I think yesterday it was for me. But anyway, that was the year 1992 that Young Enterprise Scotland was founded as a charity, yet 30 years ago. And ever since then, we've been working hard to inspire and equip young people to succeed through enterprise, and now also financial education as part of our portfolio. Since that time, like any successful organisation, any business, we're a charity, but successful charities run the same way as businesses do. We've had to evolve and react to what's been going on in the marketplace and make sure that what we do is appropriate for the young people that we serve at Young Enterprise Scotland. So today, with the company of Fraser here, we'll learn lots more about the company programme and the team programme and opportunities to get involved in that. And who knows, you may have even participated in that programme yourself. And the company programme was first delivered in the UK. It'll be 60 years' time next year, 1963. And it was first delivered in Scotland in 1971. And we've been a charity in our own right since 1992. And if we had the ability to measure all those alumni of the company programme, I think we'd be well into 6 figures, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, Young Enterprise Scotland today in 2022 is far more than the company programme, although, as Fraser will allude to later on, it still remains at the heart of what we do here at Young Enterprise Scotland for senior phase students. But let me give you a few examples of some of the ways and some of the diversification and growth that we have put in place, and how we've improved that for young people with a variety of programmes. And let's go down into primary school and take a look at some of the programmes there that we have. First of all, let's use the example of the Fiver Challenge. Now, young people in primary schools throughout Scotland, in fact, it's a UK-wide programme, get the chance to run a business, start a business over the course of a month with just £5. And you might think that's a tough ask, but you would you'd be not surprised at the initiative of young people in primary age and what they can achieve with £5. And then further up the primary age range, probably about primary 6, primary 7, going into S1 and S2, we have our circular economy challenge. And this is developed a few years ago, and it enables young people to learn a lot about the circular economy, how they can impact and tackle climate challenge, whilst also developing enterprise and financial skills at the same time. And then we'll skip the sort of senior phase, and Fraser's going to tell us a bit about that with the company and team program later on. But we can go up the ladder and into colleges of further education. Now, our Bridge to Business program next year will be 10 years old. It'll be our 10th year of delivering in colleges of further education. And in actual fact, as we speak here just now, there are young people from Fife College, part of the South East Regional Improvement Collaborative Area, on a 2-week entrepreneurship learning journey in Barcelona. And we've got 3 of our staff out in Barcelona for Young Enterprise Scotland, and Fraser and I got to the sunny central belt of Scotland instead. I think we got the lucky straw there, Fraser. So the Bridge to Business program is all about inspiring, connecting and supporting college students into business. And we also have just about to launch our enterprise village. So we'll have a physical space for those young people coming out of the company program or the team program or the Bridge to Business program who want to set up in business at our centre at Rook and Glen. But all of that is really, really important. However, there's a really important time at the moment. We stand at a unique point in time. It's not just our 30th anniversary, but Scotland as a nation, through the Scottish Government, has just launched a fresh and very exciting national strategy for economic transformation, abbreviated to NSET. It couldn't be a government strategy without an acronym. So this national strategy has a very laudable aim to establish Scotland as a world-class entrepreneurial nation, founded on a culture that encourages, promotes and celebrates, importantly, entrepreneurial activity in every sector of the economy. And in that strategic plan, there are a couple of things that are really important to us and hopefully you as supporters of Young Enterprise Scotland. And the first one is to promote the best available project-based entrepreneurial learning across the school and post-16 education curriculum. And I think what Fraser will tell you will fit nicely into that. And the second one that's really important, and hence the reason along the bottom of the screen, you'll see the Young Persons Guarantee logo. So we're doing this broadcast in partnership with the Young Persons Guarantee. The second action is to embed entrepreneurship in the Young Persons Guarantee to help cultivate business leaders of the future. So it's critical and it's really vital at that time. And the ambition to ensure that world-class entrepreneurial nation is founded on a culture that encourages, promotes and celebrates entrepreneurial activity in every sector is something that was music to our ears. And I know that as a nation, we are full of wonderfully talented, bright young people, and we'll hear and see some of them later on in this broadcast. But what I'm going to do now is hand over to Fraser, and he's going to tell us a little bit more about the company program and how it operates, and also the team program.
Thanks very much, Geoff, and thanks for really setting the scene for the last 30 years of Young Enterprise Scotland here, and why we're here tonight to talk all about how we can help you in the South East Partnership to embed enterprise education. Our 2 flagship programs that I'm going to talk to you about today are the company and team program. Now, you may have heard of one or both of those, but for those who haven't, the company program is our flagship practical enterprise experience for students in 5th and 6th year all across the country. And the company programme currently operates in every local authority from Orkney and Shetland down to the Borders and Dumfries and Galloway and everywhere in between. And at its heart, what it is a programme for young people over the course of a full academic year to work alongside a business volunteer in their school to create their own enterprise from scratch. And they literally do absolutely everything for that business, from creating the board of directors, giving out job roles, generating the idea for a product or service, deciding whether they want to be a commercial or a social enterprise, and finding out a little bit more about what each of those are. Developing a product, actually manufacturing or making it, doing market research, marketing the product, launching it onto the market, selling online at physical events. And then at the end of that experience in the Easter time, just before the Easter holidays, take part in a regional final competition to compete against other schools that have been taking part in the company programme in their region. But what makes this programme special is that they're not just competing at a local level. They have the opportunity, if they win their region, by taking part in writing a 10-page company report, giving a 4-minute presentation and an interview with a panel of expert judges, they could go on to represent their region at the Scottish Finals, which always takes place the first week in June. But interestingly, if they happen to win the Scottish Finals, there is a much longer trajectory of the competition for them, because Young Enterprise Scotland is a proud member of JA Worldwide, which stands for Junior Achievement Worldwide, of which there are 321 offices across 150 countries all around the world that deliver the company programme. So they have the opportunity, if they win the Scottish Finals, to go on to represent Scotland at the UK Finals, the middle of June, could go on to represent the UK at the European Finals, and then lastly, go on to represent Europe at the worldwide finals in August. So there really is a chance to have a real international outlook on this programme as well. But most importantly, this organisation and this programme is not just a business builder to work with students all across the country to create businesses. Its real purpose is as a skills development programme, because we understand that young people today need to have those enterprise and employability skills if they want to go on and succeed at whatever their next step in the journey looks like. And we appreciate that for all the young people that take part in company programme, that can be a very diverse journey, and very much tuned in with the DYW's No Wrong Path campaign to understand that we're trying to set young people up for that next step. And we're going to hear from some young people a little bit later on about their business journey, actually from our Lothian finalists this year from St George's School for Girls, the team called Fulfilled. But what's at its core, these young people working every single week on their business, when you hear people talking about the programme, they won't just remember the product or service that they made years down the line. What they remember is those skills that they can transfer and talk about in whatever they choose to do. I have a real passion to speak as an alumni of the programme myself, taking part 8 years ago across in Forth Valley, but also to alumni all across the country and indeed all across the world that talk about their company programme experience with such warmth and joy because of what they learned as part of that programme. Not only do we have the company programme, though, we also have its sister programme, which sits just alongside it, called the team programme. Now, the team programme, for all intents and purposes, is a very similar programme. However, it's actually designed for students aged 15 plus with additional support needs. And the core difference of the programme is in the resources. They're more of an easy to read format, lots more variety in how they can engage with that material, lots more support available for the students from the teachers and volunteers and central structure. But also when it comes to the competition, there is a variation in what they have to submit. So they're competing with other team programme students from across Scotland and indeed across the whole of the UK. An exciting development which has been in place now in its third year here in Scotland, actually the first of its kind across Europe, is that both of these programmes are now accredited on the SCQF. So our company programme is accredited at SCQF level 6, worth 24 to 30 credit points, which is, for those who don't know, on the equivalence of a Scottish Hire. And our team programme is credit rated at an STQF level 3, worth 15 credit points. Now, our company programme is also recognised on the UCAS tariff and on Insight, so that schools can gain that recognition too. And why that was really important for us as an organisation was to ensure that young people, regardless of their background, all across the country, wherever they sit in Scotland, have the ability to recognise through a qualification the sheer amount of work that goes into taking part in either the company or the team programme. And we have an increasing number of schools across the country who are using that qualification to embed the company or team programme within the curriculum as well as an option for those young people in their 5th or 6th year. So there's a real flexibility in how this can be delivered. In particular, the team programme, we have a number of organisations that are not within the education sector who are working with groups of young people. For example, in the Borders, we've got a youth cafe, which is working with a team of students with additional support needs to use the team programme as a framework for their skills development learning. And we're more than happy to talk with anybody who wants to find out a little bit more about how the company or team programme can be used in alternative ways to help support that skills development. Now, I could continue to talk for hours on end about the benefits of company programme and what it's all about, but I think it's important now that we hear from some of the young people who have taken part from this very region. And this year's Lothian finalists from St George's School for Girls, Fulfilled, have prepared a short presentation to tell you a little bit more about their journey.
Welcome to our company Fulfilled. We raise awareness on pressing environmental issues in today's society by selling multi-purpose reusable canvas tote bags that decrease the need for single-use plastic. We designed our bags to make them special and appeal to many people. The bags had a bottom gusset so that they can hold lever arch folders or bigger items, and inside iPad-sized pockets and along the top of the bag is a zip perfect for making sure everything is secure. We decided to do 3 designs to cater to 3 different age groups, creating a diverse target audience. This allowed us to increase the spread of environmental awareness throughout generations as well as generating more sales.
The average shopper uses 13,000 plastic bags in their lifetime. This needs to change. These bags are only used for a short period of time, although they have long-lasting effects on our planet. Our product is a stepping stone to reducing our local community consumption of single-use plastics. This number can be reduced by a fraction by simply using our long-lasting tote bag. We educated people within our community through our Instagram and other messages to try and reduce the amount of plastic bags being used.
Our main method of promotion was Instagram. It was the most popular form of media for our target school-aged audience, and we knew that this was the easiest way to reach out to as many people as possible. We used the facilities on Instagram to gather more orders in an organised way, and we used Twitter for the young enterprise competitions we entered. Our school bulletin and online newsletter allowed us to promote our bags as it was easily accessible for our target audience, and they could access updates and key information easily.
When we started selling our bags within school, we had an overwhelming number of customers wanting to purchase bags. A main issue that we struggled with was communication and the use of a spreadsheet. This got very confusing as some sales were not logged. We also had many orders of bags and these were either not delivered or had not been added to the spreadsheet.
A weakness was the low efficiency in the middle of the process. We were slower to sell than our competitors because we had to wait for our bags to arrive. To overcome this, we held bake sales, set up an Instagram account and put posters up so we could start selling as soon as the bags arrived. This improved our problem-solving skills that we can use in the future.
I think that the most important lesson for us was the importance of communication. We particularly realised the importance of active listening as we made sure everyone's opinions were heard. We also made sure to give clarity every time we conveyed information, ideas and perspectives to each other. To further support each other, we regularly checked in with each other's progress as well as our well-being to make sure everyone was doing well.
Well, a huge thank you to Phil there for preparing that excellent video, which I think really did showcase their journey over the course of the last year. Great to see video editing skills added to that list of skills that they're taken away from the company program as well. But so what we've done already this evening is look back at the last 30 years, have a chat really about what's happening presently on the company program and with the current students. But now it's important to look forward on the future of enterprise education from across the South East and how we can help to support that. So I'm going to hand over to Geoff to tell you a little bit more about how we're going to be able to do that.
Thank you very much, Fraser, and thank you very much to the young people for preparing that video. I'm always impressed with the work that comes out from young people, and always really pleased to hear about the skills development because that's ultimately what the company program, the team program, and all programs at Young Enterprise Scotland are about. It's about the development of the meta skills, the skills that will help these young people succeed in life and work in the future. And as somebody as young as myself, who's been involved in Young Enterprise Scotland for a total of 17 years now, 8 years as a volunteer in the Scottish borders, I still meet people today who participated in the Young Enterprise Scotland programme all those years ago, who still speak to me about the developments and the benefits that have taken them on in life through participation in the programme. But as Fraser said, we've got to look forward. We've looked in the rear view mirror, and now it's time to look through the windscreen into the year ahead. And the fact that the Young Person's Guarantee now has that enterprise option up there, alongside every young people being entitled to either a volunteering opportunity, an apprenticeship, a job, a college placement. They now have that Young Person's Guarantee to participate in enterprise. And that's why we're delighted to be working with the Scottish Government on this through the Young Person's Guarantee team. And also, that's why we've set up these events through the Regional Improvement Collaborative, so that we can have greater impact doing it that way. And finally, through that Young Person's Guarantee inclusion of the enterprise option, we'll be wanting to reach out to all the developing young workforce coordinators in place in the schools throughout the whole of the South East, in Fife, in Edinburgh City, in East Lothian, in Mid Lothian, and in the Scottish borders. And hopefully I've not missed anybody out of the South East Regional Improvement Collaborative area. So watch this space with that regional structure, and we will have a new member of team very soon who will have responsibility for that area to support you in driving enterprise and financial education forward in the South East. Back to you, Fraser, for some other developments.
Absolutely. So it's important that when we're looking forward as part of our 30th year to make sure that we're continually developing and enhancing the programme for all of the stakeholders involved, our teachers, our volunteers, and of course our young people. So we've got 3 new projects that we're launching for next year, ready to enhance and support your experience of the company and team programme. The first is for our educators out there. We have a brand new CPD programme that's going to sit right alongside the company programme. Now, this is particularly useful for educators that are coming on for the very first time with company or team programme, to make sure that you are well supported, trained, inducted, and onboarded onto the programme. But also for educators out there who are maybe coming back to the programme after a couple of years, or who want to use this as an opportunity to further develop their facilitation skills. That programme is going to be run in partnership with the wonderful team over at Scotland's Enterprising Schools, and we're going to be working with educators on a peer-to-peer mentorship scheme. There's going to be an introductory session to find out all about enterprise within your curriculum, how to identify it, and how to help embed it, how to maximise the impact of the company or team programme within your school, and then an opportunity to reflect, share best practice, and continue ongoing support and understand the skills that have been developed by taking part as the educator on the company or team programme. And we really hope as many educators as possible that are joining us next year want to take part alongside in that, because we think it will really help not only develop your skills, but also enhance the experience for your young people. Secondly, we've got a brand new opportunity for all of those volunteers or potential volunteers out there listening in tonight. We are embedding a brand new mentorship scheme as well for volunteers to help share that buddy system to make sure that brand new volunteers are also getting the support from our long established volunteers, some of whom have been volunteering as business advisors on the company program for upwards of 20 years. They just love it so much. And what we tend to find is volunteers, once they start volunteering with the company program, want to stay because they get so much out of it. A lot of those volunteers go into this program for the very first time thinking, wanting to give back to the young people out there, but actually end up thinking, I got so much more out of it personally from our own personal development than I ever did, than I ever expected to. Alongside that, we've got a brand new onboarding and induction and training program for brand new volunteers that come onto the program as well. So you will be well supported, and our alumni and volunteer executive, Amy, will be delighted to hear from you if you want to get involved in that program or want to get involved anywhere in Scotland as a volunteer with Young Enterprise Scotland. And not forgetting the young people that are out there as well. This year, we've got a very exciting development and an enhancement of the program currently. So we've got young people all across the country, and we want to make sure that they have access to the best education that they possibly can, the best training from the experts in their field. And therefore, in just a couple of weeks' time, we're launching our new online training portal. And we're connecting with partners from across the country that are invested in this program. The Royal Bank of Scotland, the Institute of Directors Scotland, the Institute of Chartered Accountants Scotland, Changing Point, the Morrison Society of Scotland, and many, many others from across the country who are developing content directly for students from the company programme. That's going to be accessible on our interactive portal and whenever the young people want to get access to that advice. So 3 key new developments for the programme for next year, one for educators, one for all of our volunteers, and one, importantly, for our young people. But back to Geoff now.
Yeah, thank you very much, Fraser. I was going to touch a little bit on the structure that we will set up to support this. And we currently have local volunteer teams all over Scotland who play a significant role in supporting the programme. So if there's any of them on the session tuned in this evening, I'd like to say a huge thank you to all the volunteers who support, and especially those that give the mentoring and business support advice to the young people. So I think that probably covers all of the stuff that we have there, but I know that Fraser's got one big announcement to make, which he wants to, he always gets all the glory here. And then once we've had that big announcement, I know that we've got a number of questions that have been posed. Some have been posed live this evening, and then some we had sent in by people who are going to watch on catch up later on who couldn't join the show this evening. So I'll hand over to Fraser, and if you're tuned in, you can give him one of these big virtual drum rolls. Not that you'll hear it, but I'm sure he'll appreciate it.
Absolutely, always appreciate a drum roll, Geoff. This is exciting. As part of our 30th anniversary, we are delighted to announce our brand new 30 for 30 campaign. So usually the company programme or the team programme is £100 registration for teams across the country, and that gives them access to all of our resources, to the insurance, to the qualification, and all of the support that they receive as part of the programme. But this year, to celebrate our 30th anniversary, we are reducing that to £30 for any team across Scotland on the company or the team programme who wants to get involved. And just a reminder, there is no limit to the number of companies that can take part from any one school. And we often have 2, 3, 4, sometimes even 5, especially in the Lothians, from any one school taking part. And we hope that this will help more schools and more young people be able to take part and benefit from the company or team programme across this region.
Thank you very much, Fraser. That's great news, £30. So if you had one company in your school last year, for less than that price, you can have 3 companies this year. So there's an encouragement to get involved. You don't get much for 3 tenors nowadays. Although I think they were a singing group back in the day. Let's go to the floor and take some questions that have been asked. And I'm going to ask one to Fraser in the first instance. So how, tell me, Fraser, when the competition happens, this is from Midlothian Education Team, how are the young people judged?
Absolutely, it's a great question. Well, on the company programme, the teams create a 10-page company report. They present a 4-minute presentation and take part in a 15-minute interview with a panel of judges. Now, what's important is that we're judging the whole of the enterprise journey. So they're judged across 4 categories: the enterprise itself, running the enterprise, the team journey, and impact and legacy. It's not about the team that's made the most money. It's not about the team with the flashiest product. It's about the team that, on the whole, can provide the most comprehensive argument for why they are deserving of the company of the year. And we do make sure that the young people right at the start, right at day one, have access to the judging criteria to make sure they can see that they are being judged across such a wide range of criteria there. On the team programme, slightly different. They are judged across 3 categories, and they're judged for best logo, best advert, and best presentation. And that comes throughout the year. So we've got 3 mini competitions, one in November, one in February, one in May, that then leads up to the Scottish finals in June. So the 2 different competitions have 2 different entry requirements and 2 different stages. But what's important, and to really emphasize to the young people, is that's a holistic judgment of the whole organization. It's not all about the finances, although that is important in some cases.
Thank you very much, Fraser. I've got another question here, and this is exciting because somebody has been in touch about your new CPD program. So this is from Roxanne Benasso. How do educators get a chance to join the CPD program?
Well, great question, and a really easy answer, actually. So when you sign up for the program through Y Online, and you can check out all of our social media or get in touch directly, we can send you that link. You will get an email from us, from one of our team, that gives you access to that CPD program. You just have to sign up by return of email to us, and we'll add you to all of the lists, and we'll send you all the information documents, which will have all the dates for the live sessions that we're delivering with Scotland's Enterprising Schools. You'll have access to all the material and some additional resources that you'll need as part of that program too. But we'd love to see as many educators as possible get involved in that program, but we will be in touch once you sign up directly.
This is a question that was emailed in previously from somebody who couldn't join tonight from the Developing Young Workforce Network, Fraser. And how is the SCQF Level 6 and Level 3 qualification assessed? So how is that assessed for the young people?
Great question. Well, the SCQF Level 6, which is part of the company programme, is actually run in partnership with Glasgow Kelvin College, and that is delivered via Moodle, so an online learning platform. And the students get logged in and enrolled at the start of the programme. They get their own individual access, and they're able to upload all of that directly onto the system. And that's marked by our team of markers at Glasgow Kelvin throughout the year, and for all the teams across Scotland. And they're given feedback and the ability to mark, get feedback, and reassess if there's a requirement to do so. That works all throughout the year. For the team programme, it's slightly different. The Level 3, that's marked internally by the member of staff that's with the students, and they create a physical portfolio. And a member of my team comes out at the end of the year as part of that internal verification progress. But crucially, we're here to support you throughout the entire year on both the Level 3 or the Level 6 through our accreditation support service. So please do get in touch if you're taking part in the programme. We're here to answer questions about evidence requirements. Has it met the standards, met the criteria? And we will guide you through that journey. But for both those programmes, there is 2 key documents. There's 2 accreditation guides, which outline in quite great detail all of the evidence that's required, how to collect it, where to find it, and where to upload it. So it's a really well-supported accreditation system.
I've got another question from, well, it's a comment as well as a question. It's from Graham Easton, who we know, who's tuned in. And he says, with the unfortunate decline of the high street with shops lying empty in both streets and shopping centres, could Young Enterprise look to take over a space for a day, weekend in what was the Christmas market slot? And I know we do that in other parts of the country, don't we, Fraser?
Yeah, we do. I mean, for example, in Glasgow this year, we did take over an empty unit at the St Unic Centre for a weekend. We had teams kind of popping up there. And we've got some other opportunities lined up for next year as well. But what we're keen to do, and it's a real key part of the programme actually, is making sure that young people take the ownership of finding those selling opportunities. And we help them where we possibly can to identify those parents' nights, Christmas markets, local trade fairs, local partnerships with shops. And increasingly over the years, we're seeing some really inventive ways of young people making sure their products and getting that to market. I'm thinking actually last year we had a team who created a book that went into their local booksellers and asked if they would stock it so they could sell it on the shelves in local gift shops. So we really have seen young people be really quite inventive with what they can do with that. But we have events that happen all across the country helping to support young people with their selling as well. But that really does vary for each region.
I think we should be given a prize for the best question asker or the one with the most questions. But here's another one from Midlothian Education Team. How many people can be in a team on each programme?
It's the same number for both, a minimum of 2 and a maximum of 32. However, I would recommend, in my experience, having run the programme for a number of years, the sweet spot is that 6 to 12 or 6 to 15. And it really depends on the young people, the support they have in the school, number of teams, and the time that they have available, and indeed what they choose to make as a product or service. Some products require quite intensive, labour intensive in that product, and some can be a lot quicker because it might be a service they can deliver straight away. Yeah. So it's a real variety, but minimum of 2, maximum of 32.
And another quick one from Midlothian Education Team. This might have been covered. Is the Educator CPD programme free? Always an important one. Maybe we've slashed the cost of the entry for company programmes, but we're going to make a huge killing for the charity via the CPD. That's not the case, is it, Fraser?
Absolutely not. That Educator CPD program is completely free, and we're really there. What we're here to do as an organisation is to make sure that you're as well supported as we possibly can. And we've been adding in these extra additions, whether it is the CPD program, our new mentorship and training program for volunteers, or the online training portal for the young people, all as part of those additional add-on extras for everybody involved.
And I think this might be the last question. This is one that came in earlier on in the day, so it's not flashed up on the screen. But the question came from a teacher in a school in City of Edinburgh, and it said, if I have a group of students who started the company programme in the year that's just finishing, 21-22, but they never finished because of COVID impact, and they were in 5th year, can they do the company programme again in 6th year, although they'd started it, although they've participated in the past? Because some people say you can't do it twice.
No, you absolutely can do it twice. The only thing that we would say if a team is doing it from year to year is that they change the product and they change the managing director. That's the only 2 stipulations we have on a same group of students doing it twice, both in 5th year and in 6th year. And that does happen, and it has happened across the country, so it's absolutely fine for that to go ahead.
Superb. Well, I think that's all of the questions this evening, and it's probably time for us to wrap up, as they say in show business, and just say a few thank yous. First of all, thank you to our backstage team, which is Carly and Eloise, for the slick production, as always. A big thank you to my colleague Fraser for all his efforts in pulling this together. A thank you to the students from St George's who take time to make the video and share that with us. And finally, the biggest thanks of all to you, the educators and colleagues from across the network from the South East Regional Improvement Collaborative. It's always good to end with a call to action. So if you've not been able to ask a question, maybe you were too shy to ask that question that you wanted to ask tonight, and maybe need some more information, we have a wonderful suite of resources available on our Young Enterprise Scotland website, yes.org.uk. And if you're looking for specific information on either of the programmes that we focused on tonight, then you can email teamprogram@yes.org.uk, for the team programme, and you can email companyprogramme@yes.org.uk for the company programme. And I think that's us over and out. If you've enjoyed it that much and you want to hear us go through this again with a different slant, we'll be back next Tuesday at the same time, and next Thursday when we'll be working with the Northern Alliance and Tuesday, and then we'll be with the Forth Valley and West Lothian Regional Improvement Collaborative on the Thursday. So I wish you all a pleasant evening. Thank you for your time, and we look forward to working with you in 2022 into 2023. Have a super evening. Thank you.